All right, it's Wednesday, midweek motivation time. Come on in, come on in, come on in. As soon as you get this notification, would you please identify yourself? Good evening to all of you. Sister Rita, Sister Stephanie, come on in. Don't forget to like and share this. We have a wonderful midweek motivation for you on tonight. So come on in, come on in, come on in. I know people get notifications at different times. So as you get this notification, just drop in for a second, for a minute, for the entire midweek motivation. It doesn't matter. Just come on, let us know you're out there. We are excited and elated. All right, Sister Cheryl, how are you? Kim Coleman from the Valley, come on in. Come on in. We are excited. All right, renewable energy. How are you? All right. Good evening to you. Come on in. Come on in. All right. Sabrine, how are you? All right. Of course, Dr. Sherry, the EP for the night. Sister Dillard, all right. Come on in. They coming in, man. Oh, it's so good to have you all on tonight for tonight's midweek motivation. We are excited. We do have a special guest coming in just a minute to log on. So we're excited about having this individual. I'm going to open up, of course, with a review and a recap of Sunday's sermon and a couple of announcements. We're going to review Sunday's sermon, though. I want to talk about that. There was more to that I could say. So as you come in, come on. Let me ask you all a question, and you can reply. Please tell me, how are you all doing today? Hey, Sister Gina, come on, tell me how y'all doing today. Come on, tell me how you doing today. All right. How was everyone's Wednesday? How was your Monday, your Tuesday, I should say? That's a more appropriate question, not just today, but yesterday and the day before. So come on in, tell us how you're doing. All right. Well, that's good. I'm good too. I'm good, Stephanie. All right, doing good for the prayer. Prayers for the world. Yeah, definitely. Praying for the world. So, man, I got some of y'all on. So let me dive in while you all are commenting on how you're doing. Good, Rita. Blessed. That's what we like to hear. Blessed. Sunday sermon. First of all, thank God for all of you all. Sunday was cold. Some of you all stayed at home, watched us online. Good, Gina, doing well. That's great. Sister Dillard, that's awesome. Some of you all stayed at home and watched us online. Some of you all were in the sanctuary. Either way, whether you were at home, whether you're in the sanctuary, we appreciate you participating in our service. Hey, Sister Nita, how are you? We appreciate you watching our service and participating in our service in the building or online. It doesn't really matter. I'm glad that you all shared with us. So Sunday was what I offered to you all comes from Psalms 27, where David says, I would have fainted unless I had believed to see the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living. Wait on the Lord and be of good courage. Wait on the Lord. And I talked about from the subject, carry your courage. Y'all remember that? Now that's an easy title for you to type in the comments. Go ahead and put that in there. Carry your courage. I use the story of Ruby Bridges as the backdrop of the thesis that I wrote that I aim to preach from. That's what I tried to do on Sunday. I used the story of Ruby Bridges that took place 63 years ago on November 14th, where 6-year-old Ruby Bridges made her way to William Frantz School, elementary school, in order to attend. It was an all-white school, but as a result of desegregation, she was able to attend. The federal law said she was able to attend. So, of course, I used the picture of her walking on the steps of the school, surrounded, Tahira, how are you? Surrounded by federal agents. And then, of course, the Norman Rockwell painting of little 6-year-old Ruby Bridges. And I said that Ruby Bridges was not only carrying her books, but she was carrying her courage to be able to stand, go forward, progress in the climate, I believe, of 1963 was an amazing thing, right? For her to be able to face the mob that was outside trying to discourage her from attending the school. And that what it took for her to face that, the mob holding up signs that said, all I want for Christmas is a clean white school. A sign of a picture of a casket with a black baby inside the casket. Here is 6-year-old Ruby Bridges, not only carrying her books, but carrying her courage. I use that as my illustration in order to move to say to you all and to us that if nothing else in this season we're in, you and I have to carry our courage. Yeah, got to carry our courage. Courage is the ability to face undaunting circumstances with complete faith and trust in God that he has you where he wants you to be. What made the Ruby Bridges story so profound is that she went to school for almost a year by herself because the other white students didn't want to be in school with her. Their parents didn't want their children to be in school with Ruby Bridges. Hey, Sister Debbie, how are you? Right? And so here she is, a 6-year-old girl with even her unknown courage, displaying courage, right? Going to a school for a year, almost in the classroom by yourself. And if a 6-year-old can have this undiscovered, unknown courage, how much more for you and I that we ought to possess courage. That courage is not the absence of fear, but is the ability to muster the faith to face your fear. The ability to look something eyeball to eyeball, to know that God is on your side, to know that God is with you. David says in that 27th Psalm, he said, I would have fainted. I would have fainted. I almost fainted. It was almost time. I almost was ready to give up. Almost ready to throw in the towel. He said, until I believed. I almost fainted until I believed in the goodness of the Lord, that I would see the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living. I almost fainted. David says the reason I didn't faint is because I had the courage to believe that God was going to make a way. That takes courage. Somebody say that takes courage. That takes courage. Listen, faith is moving forward without all the evidence. Faith is trusting God without knowing what's on the other side. Faith is trusting that what's coming towards you or that's in front of you that's trying to stop your path is not bigger than the God you serve. Faith is the mechanism. Courage is the fuel, right? Faith says I'm going anyway. Faith says I'm moving forward anyway. Faith says I'm trusting him anyway, right? That's real, authentic. So part of my sermon on Sunday was me trying to say to you, David says, I almost fainted unless I had belief. If I didn't believe, I would have fainted. So my belief really said that in spite of my circumstances, in spite of my situation, in spite of my dilemma, in spite of what I'm going through, my faith kicked in. My faith kicked in. My faith kicked in. And when my faith kicked in, what was going to happen was reversed and didn't happen. I should have fainted, but I believed. I should have given up, but I believed. I should have thrown in the towel, but I believe. And so the Bible says it like this. God has not given us a spirit of fear, but a power, love, and a what? Sound mind. So that means that at some point, when your faith kicks in, faith overrides your fear, right? So as I've said before, and I've said it many times, sometimes faith is is, here it is, sometimes faith is showing up even when your knees are knocking together because you're scared. Faith is showing up with your knees knocking. That even being scared. Hey, Eddie Brasco, my guy. How are you, sir? That's my dear friend, Eddie Brasco. Good to see you, Eddie. Right? And so many times we run from situations. We don't experience the totality of the opportunities, the blessings, and the promises because fear runs us off. But sometimes you gotta show up with your knees knocking. And I don't know, because here it is. Sometimes courage is not being confident in you, but really having complete confidence and trust in God. Please come see me, Eddie. Soon, very soon, Eddie. Right? That's that I cannot let my fear grip me. I cannot let what I'm afraid of grip me. So I may be rejected, but so what? I may get a no, but so what? It may not come through for me, but so what? But that doesn't mean it's over. You got to muster the strength to say, you got to muster the courage to say that even though it didn't work over here, I trust God enough it's going to work over here. Remember that example I gave on Sunday morning? Keep knocking at the door. That if you keep knocking, that maybe God is saying to you, I'm not so eager for you. My goal for you is not to shout over the open door. My goal for you is to rejoice over the persistence that you had to keep on knocking. So sometimes courage is keep knocking. Courage is not, oh, the door open. Courage is, I'm going to keep knocking, even though this is a no, even though that was a rejection, even though that didn't work out, even though that didn't go as planned. I got it. But don't let that take your courage. Don't let that steal your courage, which fuels your faith, right? David said, I would have fainted unless I had believed. My faith kicked in. And when my faith kicked in, I knew I was going to see the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living. He says this. He says, wait on the Lord and be what? Of good courage. Yeah. And he will strengthen your heart. Wait, I say, on the Lord. When your faith, I could preach a whole sermon when your faith kicks in. Let me say this, and we'll see if our guest, is our guest in the room, Chair? Huh? Okay, all right. Let me say this. My guest is here, but let me give you this. Let me give you this. So I'll give you this, and then we'll talk to our guest. So the other day, I was talking to a guy who's a rock climber. I got to give y'all this. This is for you all on Wednesday night. So thank you, Pastor, that I'm giving you something, right? I'm talking, and you'll hear this on Sunday, maybe not this Sunday, but you'll hear it in a couple of Sundays. And I'm talking to a guy who's a rock climber. And I asked him, I said, tell me some of the science behind rock climbing. He said that you never rock climb by yourself, right? Because you don't know what's going to happen with you on those rocks. Hey, Tanya, you don't know what's going to happen on those rocks. He said there is a guy at the bottom of the mountain you're climbing. They call it a belay or something. I can't think of the term. Belay, I think, and I looked it up the other day. And he is responsible so that if you slip off the rock that you're climbing, if you slip off the rock and you are on that rope and you catch hold of the rope, you're going to fall and descend. But here's what it says. The person at the bottom of the mountain also has a rope. His responsibility is to break your fall, to keep you from falling down to the ground. So he grabs the rope and he slows you down, right? Because that's his responsibility. So I'm sitting there talking to him and I'm about to lose my mind. And I said, is that not what our faith does with us? That just before we are about to quit, just before we're about to give up, just before every door has been closed, every window has been opportunity, your faith is the belay. Your faith catches you and says, no, I got you. You're going to be okay. Belay, that's it, right? I got you. You're going to be okay. And all of us need to develop a faith in God so that when times come, our faith kicks in. then we start believing God. Like, yeah. And some people say, well, Pastor Coleman, that's hard to do. It's hard for all of us. But you got to train your faith, right? So that even in your fear, because I asked the guy, I asked him, and we're going to go to our guest, I promise you. He says to me, I said, are you afraid if you slip off the rock, off the mountain? Are you afraid? He says, no. He said, no. I said, why? He said, because you're trained for moments like this, and your instinct kicks in. And when your instinct kicks in, you automatically know what you have to do. Look, that's it for I'm just telling y'all right now. He said, I said, so you telling me you'll climb up a mountain and you slip, your clip doesn't get a hold of a rock, and somehow you telling me you're not afraid? He said, yeah, it's a little bit of fear. He said, but you don't let that fear override the instinct of your training. You have been trained that these things might happen. And because you've been trained that these things might happen, you yourself, your faith kicks in. You start believing in the person that's beneath you. That's a whole sermon by itself. That he's going to catch you and keep you from falling to the bottom of the mountain. Is that all right, y'all? I'm talking to the guy, and when y'all hear this on Sunday, and I'm telling you, it's going to blow the house up. Because sometimes some of us, we have church faith, right? We have Wednesday night faith, right? But do you have a 7-day-a-week instinctive faith? Keep moving in faith. Start believing in faith. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I believe. God, I believe. I just believe. It don't look like I should believe. Situations don't appear like I should believe, but I just believe. I just believe. I have a radical faith in God. Jesus says this: if you abide in me and my word abides in you, you can ask whatever you will and it shall be done. My faith kicks in. If you abide in me, you are so trained. You are so connected to God, right? That there is a faith that you have that says, yeah, I know what it says, but the God I serve told me to believe. He told me this is going to work out. He told me everything's going to be okay. It might look bad. It might even get worse before it gets better. But when it's over, I know God is going to bless me. I know God is going to teach me. I know God is going to help me. I know God is going to lift me, right? So that's why I said carry your courage. You got to be able to say, okay, God, this is rough, and I got a little bit of fear in me, but you told me to trust you. So this is what I'm going to do. Bible says like this: cast your cares on him, for he cares for you. Was that all right? Y'all got that? Right? So that's what I want to get. I just want to recap. Carry your courage, right? Carry your courage. If you slip off the rock, there's a belay underneath you that's aimed to break your fall when you're falling. Okay. All right. Let's go. Y'all know I had something to say. So many of you all know, a couple Sundays ago, we brought up, of course, Dr. Sherry brought up our own Reverend Dawn Bowles. Reverend Dawn Bowles is starting a school. And we are excited for Reverend.
Over here like, hey, Baylay. Hey, Baylay. Hey, Baylay. I've been shining so much, I've been having to wear my shades. Pastor, you just shining.
Shine. Listen. See, now you go new school. I'll go old school. Shine on me.
Good evening.
Reverend Dawn, how are you?
Hey, I am doing great. Long day, but great.
Yes.
Just a great day. Glad to be here.
Well, Reverend Dawn,
that's for the evening.
I have to say this first of all, know that all of you all, would you greet Reverend Dawn for me, please? We love Reverend Dawn Bowles. We love Reverend Dawn Bowles that she has pitched her tent at Fifth Street Baptist Church. You see them old terms I'm using? She's pitched her tent. That's what old folks would say.
Yeah.
At Fifth Street, and she has been a blessing to us. We are excited, not only because of what you have meant to Fifth Street, but also because of the new venture that you are engaged in now. So just tell us what the new venture is, and then I'll engage you with some questions. Go ahead.
All right, sir. Well, thank you again. And hey, all my Fifth Street family and friends. The new venture is simply another assignment from God. It is to continue to fulfill the mission and the call of my life, and also of the church that I'm affiliated with, which is Fifth Street Missionary Baptist Church here in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. And together we are in partnership to open a high school, a
Yes.
public tuition-free charter high school.
I can't hear the audience. You said it again, Rhea.
Public, meaning anybody can come, and it's tuition free. You don't have to pay a dime, and it is a charter high school. It is a leadership academy. The name is the Proud to Partner Leadership Academy, because we are proud to partner with you, hint, hint, when others may not be. And so we are proud to partner with you and help you experience the excellence that you already have on the inside, that inner genius, and bring that out. So we also go by PTPLA. That's the short version, PTPLA. But we are the Proud to Partner Leadership Academy. We are going to be located in Southwest Oklahoma City, and we are going to go back and reclaim education for our babies.
Man, Reverend Don, wow. Can I just tell you, absolutely awesome. We are more than proud of you for that. There is such a need for that. As some of you all know, I have to put my 2 cents in. Some of you all know my dissertation is on the Black church in education. My dissertation that I'm writing now for my doctorate of ministry degree is on the Black church in education. The importance of the Black church partnering with, hallelujah, partnering with agencies and other things in order to help our children, be they Black, brown, whomever, to meet just some academic standards, to reach their goals academically. So, Reverend Don, tell me, how did this begin? Let's go.
Well, let's say that it began, I would say, over 100 years ago, because education has been just a staple in my family from growing
Yes.
up. Grandparents, aunts, uncles, everyone was in education and ministry combined. So it's just a part of what we've been doing all along, helping families reach their highest potential, providing resources and opportunities to do that. And as an educator myself, I've been doing that, but doing it under other people's thumb. And so the time has come for us to be the leader in how things happen, the way things are rolled out, and be our own accountability partners. And so after being here in Oklahoma since 2018,
Yeah.
and having served in more than one district, and seeing some of the same deficits in the districts and the same needs in the district, and been able to I will say successfully implement programs, ideas, and opportunities and strategies that I feel are important, that have worked for me previously, and being able to do this successfully in multiple places. I said it's time to do it successfully for myself, and make sure that I can partner with those around me so that we can take what we're doing to an even higher level. And so after, like I said, being in the field for a bit now, this is my, what is this, my 26th year, 26th, 27th year in education, and looking at what we have here in Oklahoma City, the Oklahoma City area, what we're faced with in this state of Oklahoma. We all know that it's no secret. I believe we are 49th as far as education is concerned when you look at all of the states. And so seeing what's happening there, knowing the gifts that God has given me, and knowing what I can do. It's all about how can you help? We can't just sit back and keep talking.
Yeah.
But what can I do to be a part of the solution? And so this is one thing that I have a proven track record in, being a turnaround specialist in multiple states in the United States of America, 7 states to be exact, and knowing what I can do. Why not use those gifts and talents to directly impact our families right here? So that's where we are.
I don't think people either they didn't hear you or don't understand. You are what you have specialized in during your career, and I'm gonna use this term because I think this term has to be used. Is you have been a turnaround specialist. Can I just say, just that title alone will make me run around and shout?
Yes.
A turnaround specialist. Yes. Tell us what a turnaround specialist is, because folks need to know what that is.
So a turnaround specialist goes into a school, into a district, and looks at everyone that may be going in the wrong direction.
Yeah.
And you put specific measures in place to help them turn around to get back on the correct track, or just turn around and go the total opposite direction that will lead them towards success rather than failure. And that's it in a nutshell. And I specialize in working with communities, families, students, parents, business owners, community partners, to work together to turn that ship, SHIP, around.
Yeah.
So that's what I do. It's almost like a second chance ministry. Everybody needs a second chance. People want a second chance, but they don't have people to guide them in that second chance. So this is all about, I can help you become the best version of yourself, no matter what that is.
Rev, I'm so glad that there were points in my life when God was my turnaround specialist.
Yes.
Listen. So tell us. So that was really one question. I had to get that out there. I felt a spiritual moment right there. That's why I had to raise that question. So tell us, the school is a high school. What are your values in the school? What are your values? What are some tenets that you are going to promote in the school?
Well, first of all, we have 4 pillars. And every time we talk about the school, we want to discuss those pillars. They spell out PACS, P-A-C-S, and that stands for post-secondary leadership. Okay. And so the P, people say, what does post-secondary mean? Post-secondary means everything you're going to do after high school. So that's post your secondary schooling. And so we are creating leaders in school so then they can go out and become these leaders outside of school. So post-secondary leadership, that's the P. The A, we have academic excellence. Oftentimes we have been convinced that for some reason our students just aren't going to excel academically, or they just don't know how to take the test. So that's all just a bunch of baloney. You can teach anybody anything and help students develop into a level. And so that academic excellence is something that we want in a school. If we don't have that, what more are we than just the Boys and Girls Club? I mean, I love the Boys and Girls Club, but a piece of schooling is the academic component. So the A is academic excellence. In that we have personalized and individualized learning. So we help you figure out what are the personal tracks that you're interested in, and how can we align the curriculum to your personalized interests to help you become more motivated. Also, it's individualized because we have some learning opportunities at your own pace. You shouldn't have to wait to take a course that you may want to wait that you can become accelerated in. If you can test out of a particular course and get through high school sooner, why not be allowed to do that? So we have those types of tracks as well. But that's the A, academic excellence. The C is community partnership. We can't do this by ourselves. So we want to partner with those in the community. And those of you on tonight, you'll see different ways that you can partner with us. But we have one-to-one mentors for our juniors and seniors. So that, again, whatever their interest is for college, career, life excellence, we're going to pair you with someone who's done that same thing or doing that same thing. So you have an accountability partner to keep you motivated and guide you in the right direction. So when you graduate, you know what your next steps will be. That's the C, community partnership. And the last one is S, social and emotional learning. I'm all for the books, all for the testing, all for the content academically. But if we don't teach social and emotional learning skills, we won't be able to navigate in life. And so that is another pillar that we have. And we believe wholeheartedly in that. So those are the 4 pillars that we stand on. And so everything that we do will be geared toward those areas to develop the student that we want to develop.
Wow. Okay. Great. What are some, and I say this only because I think people need to know, what are some obstacles that you have had to overcome? Because of course there is great debate right now taking place in Oklahoma regarding education, and everyone's having these conversations about different types of supplemental curriculum coming in. I mean, it's just a lot of stuff going on. What are some obstacles that you may have had to encounter that you are like, no, we're going to overcome that too? What are some obstacles?
Well, I would say coming up to this point, a lot of the obstacles would be what has also led me to spearhead this effort. We will have a different level of autonomy in the curriculum that we do choose to include. I or other partners can actually write our own curriculum if we so choose.
I love it.
So we don't have to have a canned curriculum, and we can have a curriculum that is culturally relevant and meeting the diverse needs of our student population and demographics. That's a challenge you may have had other places. Another challenge is people's outlook on what discipline or what discipline policies, what type of consequential measures should be in place. And a lot of times we see punitive forms of discipline. And the model that we will have, we will use a restorative form,
Okay.
restorative practices, restorative circles, which is different than punitive. So ours is to build up, to redefine, to restore, to bring back, to bring peace within the community, to resolve conflict through relationship building and things of that nature. So it's an alternative to suspension. Our goal is not to send you home. Our goal is to keep you here.
Yeah.
Because when you're not in these seats, when you're not
That's
in the
good,
building,
man.
we don't have our hand on you. We can't impact you. We can't help you grow. We can't culture you. We can't nurture you. So we don't want you out of school. We want you in school. We want to
Yeah.
help you learn how to navigate the trauma that is causing you to behave like
Wow.
this, so that we can help heal some of those things. So wraparound services will be big for us. We may not have always had access to some, or you may, but they could have not been necessarily aligned to what we need. So we'll be able to develop those wraparound services to meet those needs that our students have based on the trauma that they may have experienced in past lives, and keep them with us while they heal and grow from and in that trauma.
Wow.
And so
Wow.
that's another challenge. So suspension is not our automatic go-to. In order to be suspended from our school, it's got to be some serious stuff,
Right.
because we're going to have alternatives to that to teach you how to have more accountability for your own actions and behaviors. That's where the social and emotional learning comes in. And then how to be so assertive and so confident in yourself that you want to be in this space, not only to be an advocate for your own learning and your own growth, but so you can see how great you can become and be prepared to exit that building to
Yeah.
go out into the real world.
Yeah.
So most of our students are thinking about graduation. Many of our schools in this area have maybe a 70-ish% graduation rate. So
Yeah.
we've got 30% of the kids that's just not graduating. So we
Wow.
have goals of 100% graduation. In former schools where I served as a high school principal here in Oklahoma City area, my graduating class, we had 100% of our graduates graduated in our cohort. Additionally, cohort 5 and cohort 6 which would have been the classes that came 2 years before I was there, we were able to also successfully graduate those.
Wow.
So being able to say you were able to foster a 100% graduation rate is not something that is done around here with the schools and other populations that we're talking about,
Yeah.
and even in some other of our more affluent districts. So we
Wow.
pride ourselves with our families and students, with them knowing that walking across that stage is one thing, and we're going to do that. But then being prepared when you walk across that stage to walk into the next facet of your growth and development
Yeah.
is also a part of this package.
Wow. Wow. Real. As the old folks say, talk that talk, girl. Talk that talk.
It's because I live it. It's easy because I live it. It's who I am.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
who I am. Yeah.
Some of the research that I was doing in my dissertation, and then Dr. Sherry said there are a couple of slides. I want to get the slides, and then we'll help people understand how if they have questions or want to get involved, how to do that. Some of the research I did in writing this dissertation, I knew the severity of the problem.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know how serious the problem is in Oklahoma regarding education, as far as reading comprehension, as far as writing, as far as math. So what will be your, and we know one of the effects or the impacts of the performance of kids in school is class size. So what will be the size of your school? What will be the size of the size of the classroom?
Well, currently our goal is to be at capacity with 400 students.
Okay.
400. We are starting in year 1 with grades 11 and 12, so that we can really focus in on those students that are immediately in the space to be able to walk out of here.
Okay.
And many students say, well, it's better to build from the bottom up. It may be better, it may be wiser, it may allow you to have a little bit more continuity on what you're doing, and you can build so each class helps the next one and you build.
Yeah.
I'm not interested in leaving out the ones that are 5 and 6 years behind already and pushing another group out unprepared. So my choice is to start at the top, because we need to save those babies as well. And so we're starting from the top and then working our way backwards. We also are looking at 11th and 12th grade, because we can get them directly aligned with internship and the industry partnerships, so that they begin to gain some skills in high school. So when they exit, If they're not going to college, they're exiting with some certificates to walk
Right.
through some areas. We'll have a partnership with Amazon through our esports. We're doing esports at our school. So
Yeah.
esports allows them to come out with a coding and some STEM and some cloud engineering certificates, so they can walk from our building basically across the street to Amazon and walk right into a job certified.
Wow.
We're doing some things with Oklahoma land surveying, where students who have a certificate and can walk right out of school and become a surveyor right
Yeah.
here in the city. We're partnering with the National Heart Rods Association for all of our families and young people that are interested in motorsports. Many of our students in the Hispanic community, this is what they do. They work on cars.
Right.
Their families have shops, all this. So
Right.
we're working with the National Heart Rod Association to have these students be able to work on cars through a drag racing lens. These kids are going to be at the track learning
Wow.
the real pieces, and also be able to walk out with a certification in motorsports
Yeah.
and be able to go and not just find jobs, but be able to have the credentials to even improve their family businesses
Yeah.
that they already have, because they'll
Yeah.
walk out with the level of certifications that
Wow.
they
Wow.
need. So those are some of the some of the things that we're focusing on with that. What did you ask me about, the community piece?
No, as my class size.
Oh yeah, class size. So in the class size, each class will end up with 100, about 100 per class, 4 classes. We initially started with 75. Okay, 75 juniors, 75 seniors, and there's thinking now on bringing in a 9th grade class of 75 as well. So if you have an 8th grader that's out there, bringing in that 9th grade class, so we can also build from the bottom at the same time when we're starting at the top and close that baby in.
Wow.
But 75 per class. We're looking at anywhere from a 20 to a 22 being the most of a student teacher ratio. So we're not having classes, which creates challenges sometimes, as you well know, in some of our traditional schools, where you have sometimes 35, 36 kids in one class with one teacher. That's a lot.
Right. Right.
So scaling that back will be very, very great for us. We also are running an electives hub. And so many of our electives will be offered online. So having the electives online, we can service more at one time while they're online. And then in our classes, like for instance, in our ELA or our language classes and our math classes, we can even get our size down to about 15 to 16 per student.
Wow.
So we can really hone in on some of the skill deficits, because we know what they're coming with, but that's not an excuse. It's not the student's fault. It's not anybody's fault at this time except for ours, as we don't
Right.
do something to address it. So we're setting up models like that to where our teachers will be able to work directly with those students in those areas of need, because we want every student being able to function like they should be able to when they graduate. And that's from reading to understanding financial literacy.
Yeah.
An amazing financial literacy program that we have there to be for students, and also a component for families. So we want to teach everybody what needs to be happening with your finances. Again, we're trying to change the trajectory of life for families. For
generationally.
Yes, for families.
Yeah.
So we will have that, but those sizes will be good. And then our environment in itself is going to be one that yields itself to, well, actually, I get to pick all of my staff. So, we're not just looking for somebody looking for a job. And you'll have to want to commit to the cause. I'll say it like that, if you're going to be a part of our faculty and staff, because everybody there has a responsibility and a role to nurture and develop the students, even to our custodial service, to our bus driver, whoever that might be, the cafeteria staff that we have. You're not coming in for a job. You're coming in to help us cultivate these young minds so they can go out. So if that's not your business, that's not your call. If you're not going to serve us while you're serving that food, you're going to know some names, know some likes, know some interests, know some families.
Yeah.
Because we're all going to work together as one to move these students to the next level.
I love it. I love it. Dr. Sherry's in the back. She's going to put up a slide, and then we're going to talk about, so while we're going to do both and, if you have, while Reverend Don goes through some of this, if you have questions, would you please put them in the comments? If you have questions for Reverend Don about the school, so would you please put that? I know y'all got questions, because this is transformational education. Can I, this is transformational, or as someone says, abolitionist education. We're trying to free some folk, right? Free some families. So if you have questions, please put them in the comments. Dr. Sherry, just put that up, and then I'm going to bring her in. She's got to chime in a little bit on this as well. Go ahead.
This is one of our, it's actually 2 flyers put together. They're not this small in real life, but when we are talking to people, we pass out just some fun facts about the school. So this is a couple of, of the fun facts. And if you send that QR code on there, you can actually scan that. And that just gives us some community feedback. It asks you a couple of things about what you would like to see, if you could help us, add some things to the high school, what you know about the local schools in the Southwest area. So please feel free to scan that QR code and give us your feedback. It's a public charter high school, which we talked about, and it's designed with you in mind. And you, that does just not mean the student. It means every individual that comes in contact with us, we have you in mind, because you're a student or someone's family member or someone who can partner with us. So it's designed with you in mind. It's career connected. Career connected is going to be a big word you're going to be hearing coming up really soon. You've probably heard it sometimes, but the nation's capital has just released new funding and new efforts to a career connected curriculum for high schools, which means the curriculum is connected to what your career interests are. So as you're learning in those pathways to get you prepared to go out and be successful in whatever area that would be. So career connected curriculum and community partnerships. PTPLA supports students and families. So families is a big thing for us, while creating opportunities for leadership along the journey. Your mama might need a job. Your daddy might need a job. They might need to have actual resources that we have. So we're here for the entire family. We even have a room in our school. Notice I speak as if we're already open. That's just how I see it. We have a room in our school that is specifically for parents and community. So you can just be simply riding through or walking down and you want some coffee, or you need some chips. So you just need a place to just chill out for a second. That space is provided there. So the families know there's a space for you here that's like home as well. We value the art of social and emotional learning through authentic relationships. We need to know not just the name, but the name, what you like, what your favorite, pop is, whatever that might be. So you establish those relationships. So when a student does come in and they're having a bad day, you already got some things going in the back of your head as to why they might be having a day and what they might like or what might help them have a better day, because the relationship is there. And then, of course, learning is culturally relevant, rigorous, individualized, and personalized.
Wow.
So you will see you in our learning, whoever you are.
You will see you
in our learning. You will see you in the adults that are around you. You will see you in some of the food that we eat. You will see you in the events that we hold. You in the type of attire that we might wear. Whatever it is, you will see you. You will see you.
I love that, Reverend. I'm going to take that. You have not copyrighted that or patented that. So know that I've just officially stolen that.
Officially steal that from me.
And that is going in my dissertation. I promise you today, you will see you. That's awesome. That is awesome.
Which we know from research that motivates you to want to be better.
That's
and to want to do and to want to be a part.
That's right.
It's very difficult. And I can say that as a Black female school leader, having led in the classroom, having led in the building, even having led at central office. I oftentimes don't see people looking like me. And especially in districts that may be in this particular area. It's just not there. You know. And so if I don't see me, our kids and families don't see me.
That's right.
I've had kids that tell me, I didn't even know it was it was okay if you were Black to even be a principal. They said that to me. I've had students that never even have had a Black teacher ever in their life, never had a Black administrator. I was their first Black administrator or leader, not just had, that they'd seen.
Wow.
Never even had or seen one. So when I tell you this is going to be life-changing, and to know that this is like an ownership piece. You can rent a home or you can own a home. We're not renting a school. We're owning a school.
Wow.
The model is ours. The impact is ours. The influence is ours. Its origin is ours. Period. Period.
I love it. Oh, Red, this is unbelievable.
Talk about organic. People want to eat organic. We about to educate organically. This is an organic movement.
Organic education.
Organic education.
Reverend Dodd, this is awesome. I, as the pastor of history, am proud not only of you, but proud to partner with you.
Thank you.
In this effort, in this agenda. When you first brought the idea, and of course, Dr. Sherry came to me and told me what you were up to, And I said, hey man, let's, Reverend Don got that spirit. Let's roll with it. Let's see what we can do. So let me do this. I don't want to take too much time, but there is a question.
Okay.
And we're gonna get to that question. Smith asked a question. Let me do two things, and then what if there's currently struggling who may not graduate this year? You see that question, Reverend Don?
What if there's currently a struggling senior who may not graduate this school year? Yes, they can. And not only can they, we want them. In this state, you're able to go to school until you're 21. Free. So that student may be 19, we can still take them. And
Wow.
if they are struggling, excuse me now, if they are struggling, we would rather them return next year than drop out, or rather them still return than just take whatever grade they're getting and not be prepared. People think, well, you've got to get out of this time. No, you don't have to get out of this time. You would want to ideally, but we'd rather you get out and be ready than just to get out to say. So yes, if you have that student, please let them take the QR code, put the information in, let them contact us. Our enrollment application and enrollment will open around February time. Okay, right around that time frame. And it's open enrollment. Once we reach a certain capacity for enrollment, we have a waiting list. There's a lottery that takes place. And so all students' names will go into the lottery, and we just have to click the button and we get what we get. Yeah. But if you're in there in the beginning and you're in the first roll of things, then you're going to be able to make it through the door, make it through the first time. So we have a full marketing plan that's going to roll out in January. I'm working with the Bloomwell Group in marketing. I'm working with Andrea Morell's group. She's been great in handling back office and some other things. So we have a lot of things that are getting ready to come out. This is a first class operation. That's good. That we're about to see that is being run and led by a Black female. And when I say that, I want to emphasize that, because people often say, well, if it's Black, no, first class. Everything I do is first class, and I don't plan to change that. And so that is what we're looking for. And we're hoping to push that, not just because we're proud to partner Leadership Academy, because that's what our tradition of excellence is built on. This is nothing new. That's right. Us doing this is nothing new. I mean, there are so many pioneers that have already done this. Yeah. So this is not new. It may be new to some people, but we're just carrying on a tradition that has already been carried on for years and years and years, and showing those who may have forgotten about what it's supposed to look like. I love it. Let's get on board, people. It's no reason why we can't all be on board for our kids, no matter where you're at. If you're Northeast Oklahoma City, you do your thing. If you're Southwest Oklahoma City, you do your thing. If you're Southeast, Northwest, wherever you are, do your thing. Because our kids are counting on us, period. That's right. I love it, Rev. Dr. Sherry, come on in if you can. And you could share your thoughts.
Yes, it's a wonderful thing. So excited, proud to partner. Excuse me, I'm in a dark room, but so excited about building relationships. Brother Jessup, Reverend Jessup, we ain't new to this. Reverend Dawn is true to this. And I can say I've worked with Reverend Dawn and served with her on 2 occasions. And she is serious. I mean, it's a wonderful thing. Proud to partner. You think about it, I said, catching those juniors and seniors, the least, the lost, the leftover, those babies that everybody else may have skipped over. We know that they're not ready to go out into the world yet. And so we want to pause for a moment and grab them and let them know, hey, we're excited to have you, and we are going to make you successful, whether that's college, whether that's a certificate, whether that's the military, whether it's job, all of that, just partnering with them. And so we're asking all of you, actually, I was going to record a video today, because what we need for every one of those juniors and seniors, hear me, people, we need mentors. We need those of you who are employed, and maybe your business, they do internships, and you say, hey, I have a connection here. We need you to hit that QR code. We'll make sure that we put the link in the comments as well, because you are part of the partnership. Like, nobody can do this by themselves. And so just as we're partnering together in the classroom, in the building, we need individuals outside. Sister said, where's the school located? The services will be on the south West side of
Southwest
Oklahoma City,
side of
Reverend Dawn?
Oklahoma City. Yes, our actual location will be in the Southwest Oklahoma City area. However, students can attend from wherever. Doesn't matter. But that's where our actual physical location will be, Southwest Oklahoma City.
Right.
Toward the upper end of it. I
Right.
can't release the building yet, but closer to the
right.
west area.
Okay.
Yes.
And I think it's important to note every time, you know, when we talk about Black and brown kids, we automatically assume that they're kids in a certain quadrant of the city. And there's an entire part of the city where our kids are there, Black and brown kids are there. So we want to make sure that we're continually pouring into them. I know, Reverend Dawn, this is Proud to Partner Leadership Academy, but you, prior to coming to Oklahoma, you were proud to partner. What is that about?
Okay. So as I was saying earlier with Pastor, my family and I have always been proud to partner with people and families and kids and students. Our home was always open from when my grandmother was alive, and even before I was born, were students from Virginia State University. When they didn't have a place to go, they didn't have food, they couldn't wash clothes, they would come there and be there. They were all educators, and even in the community, they would do things. So we always partnered with anyone in need. So it comes out of a needs-based ministry or mission. That's the first thing.
Yeah.
And then the name itself was brought to life when I was serving in Huntsville, Alabama, as an assistant pastor at a church there. And I was also the director of education at our church. And one of our goals, such as Fifth Street, was to partner and try to find ways to partner with schools. And so I was in charge of that. And so I came up with Proud to Partner because we too then were partnering with schools in Northeast Huntsville, which were all failing and underperforming and, you know, economically disadvantaged. And so we partnered with the schools, again, that no one else would have wanted to partner with.
Yeah.
And so initially we were proud to partner, and I would go into a school and they would give me a list of all the students that were on their way out, meaning either on their way to juvie. They had been suspended so many times you could do nothing with them. They were nearing dropout, the chronic absenteeism, they were failing, and they would give them to me.
Yeah.
And say, this is your last chance. And so I would take those students, cultivate a program, get them right, get them ready, get them back. And we would do actually a camp, an ambassador training. We're the ambassadors, Proud Partner ambassadors, an ambassador training camp. We go away for 6 nights and 7 days. They didn't have phones, no family, no nothing. They get on a bus with me. My whole Proud Partner team would meet us when we would go to the mountains of Virginia, where we drive all the way there from Alabama. And they'd be with me for a week. They go up the mountain one way and come back down another way, and then go back to their schools. And they became the ambassadors within the school to use those same leadership potentials that they had to turn that school around from the inside out. So that's where the name actually originated, in Huntsville, Alabama, when I was with my church that was there, the St. Luke Christian Church. And my pastor at that time was Pastor T.C. Johnson. So they initially poured into the program, poured into the kids and the families, and poured into my vision to make sure it would happen. And then here we are today. That was 2016. Here we are today, 7 years later, and we're getting ready to open the academy.
So let me do this because I don't want to go past time. You know, attention spans are short. So make sure we get to it. Will you offer tutoring for struggling students?
Well, I will say this. Yes, we will offer tutoring for struggling students, but our whole model is designed to address struggling students while they're in school as well.
That's right.
So the model supports the scaffolding, what needs with differentiation, so that learning is happening. You don't have to wait until after school to have a lesson that is aligned to your strengths and weaknesses to deal with what you have. So yes, in a sense, but it's not going to be a traditional mold where I'm sitting there all day and I don't get it, and so after school I need help.
So let me jump on it. Let me get to it. We're getting ready to close. How can people get involved? Let's get to the crux of it. Here we go.
People can get involved by scanning that QR code. That's number one, because I need community feedback. That's a part of what I have to be able to generate and show. So I need you all to scan that. And if a lot of you have, thank you so much. Fifth Street has been great at doing this. But if you have not,
put this on the church Facebook page and on our website.
The next thing Dr. Sherry has is the graduate profile. Can you go back to the profile? We'll put all this stuff on the website. If you're scanning, this is on the side of my car, like we broadcast all the time. This is our graduate profile, which says when a student leaves our school, this is what they should look like. And so the QR code on here says if you want to partner with us to help that student meet that graduate profile, then that's where you scan, you sign up, you tell us your community interest, like your affiliation, your business, whatever it is, whether you want to mentor, offer an internship, whatever that is. You'll see all those on the drop down. Okay. But we need people to scan, to sign. If anyone is interested, on next Monday at 5 p.m., I'll be presenting, well, not presenting, but the Putnam City School Board will hold their board meeting at which they will review my charter application to see if they will host it in their particular district. So there are a couple of steps in this process, and I've applied to a few districts in hopes of a district accepting us. If a district does not accept us, then we will go to the state, and the state will move forward with the programming. But anybody that wants to come out on Friday just to say, next Monday, that says, hey, we're in support of this, your presence is definitely would be appreciated.
If people want to give money, want to donate,
if people want to donate in January, we'll be ready to receive donations. Okay. So there are timelines for everything that we have to do.
Yes.
So yes, we will be able to receive donations, and we have some itemized ways you can donate. People say, what do you need money for? People, I don't know, I just need money. No, I'm going to tell you specifically what I need it for, down to the ambassador package, which runs you about $1,000 for the whole package. Okay. But that gets the student their blazer, it gets their college trip, their college tour paid for, it gets them their backpack, it gets them 2 uniform shirts. So you'll know, hey, I sponsored that ambassador right there. Different things like that. But I'm just excited. I'm glad to be a part of the movement that, Pastor, you have made, that you have navigated in this space. I'm glad to be free to move in that. I feel that I have the support, not just of Fifth Street, but of the community and all those that may be around. And I'm excited just to see what God is going to do. I know some things He's going to do, but there's so many things that we have no idea how He's going to make this great. And
you are blazing a trail. Let me just say that before we close. You are blazing a trail in Oklahoma City, but definitely in the state of Oklahoma. And I want to commend you in advance for the success that you are having and will have with the program. We are proud. So this is what the commercial is going to say. When you do your commercial,
yes, sir,
I'm going to come on and say, we are proud to partner with Proud to Partner Leadership Academy. Yes. We are proud to partner. That's what the commercial is going to say.
All right.
We, Fifth Street Baptist Church, Dr. Sherry, myself, personally, are proud to partner with you for this new venture. And so once again, I can't tell you enough. People are asking questions. Are you coming to Virginia on a college? Your mother want to know that.
You know she was going to ask that. Yes, we will be coming. We already have students that actually want to attend Virginia State University because they want to attend the same school as their leader. For some of these students, I was their principal before. And so they are returning, and families are returning to what they know we had when I was there. And so they're excited to, I really do feel like Harriet Tubman here. Like I'm going back.
You are.
This is the year that I've taken off.
You are.
School, and then I'm going back. And I also got to put this plug in here. I am a fellow of the Oklahoma Public School Resource Center.
Yes.
And OPSRC is what the, what do you call that when you put the letters for? What's that called? You know what I'm saying? OPSRC. So they have provided a fellowship. It's a cohort for those that were interested in pursuing opening and founding charter schools. And so with their support and their guidance and their training, I have been able to tap into areas and places as a fellow. And so a part of the program is a planning year. And so that's what I'm in. So with their scaffolding and support, they are allowing me to move forward in an expedited manner and with the necessary, like I said, supports to make this thing happen. And so I appreciate their, hard work in that. And I'm just excited to be in Oklahoma at such a time as this.
Yeah. Is this a nonprofit or a 501c?
Both. It's both.
It's both. Okay. I'm going to ask a question. Yes. When you get out of there, tell your mother she can't be shouting out her school.
So, right.
You're not taking over my little life here, mama. Come on. So that's great. Hey, would you all thank Reverend Dawn for me in the comments? Thank Reverend Don. Pray for her.
Yes.
Wish her the best. Don't forget, your support is needed. So we got something else we want to give you all. On December 10th at 2 o'clock, Reverend Dawn is going to take the young people from our church to see the Hip Hop Nutcracker. The Hip Hop Nutcracker. It is on December 10th at 2 p.m. at OCCC, Oklahoma City Community College. Tickets are $15. Now, the total ticket is about $30. The church is covering half the ticket cost. So if you have a child, it's after church. Yes, it's after church. If you have a child that you want to participate in, go to see the Hip Hop Nutcracker, which you should want your children to see. It is awesome. What do they have to do, Sharon?
Then this is a QR code right there. This could be on the website.
Oh, QR code. Okay.
They just
QR code right there.
They sign up there.
Okay.
They sign up there.
Register.
We'll stay after church and we'll eat right after church in the fellowship hall, and then we'll go together to see the Nutcracker. And
see the Nutcracker. All right. So we need you to you all have to be the ambassadors for us in this case to let people know when we post a flyer. You have to forward that, share that flyer with other people. Share that flyer with other people. Share that flyer with other people. Share it on your Facebook page. Share it on your Instagram. Make sure you share it. Reverend Don, we may do a TikTok. How about that? We may do a TikTok on the Hip Hop Nutcracker. Let's look at doing that. That's on the 10th. So don't forget that. The Friday is Kicking It with the Colemans. This Friday at the church at 7 o'clock. You need to be there. You're not doing nothing on Friday night. We know y'all don't do nothing on Friday night. So come out and hang out with us for an hour or so. We'll have a good time just hanging out, fellowshipping, eating, loving on each other, fellowshipping with one another. And what else? What else do I need? I think that was it. Reverend Dawn, is there any other questions for Reverend Dawn? Put them in the comments, please. Put them in the comments. All right? Reverend Dawn, that was awesome. Let me just tell you this.
Thank you.
Say again.
I said thank you.
Oh, if you have a question, we will go back later and we'll answer. We're going to bring you on again in February, Reverend Dawn. Okay.
And if they scan at the bottom, you can put, if you have additional questions or comments, you can put that in there.
Okay.
If they did the scan, yeah.
Let's pray right now. All of these announcements will be on the Facebook page and on Instagram. So let's pray for Reverend Dawn and her school, our school. And we're going to claim our school because it's a community effort, proud to partner. And we're so glad that she's the head of that school. So let's make sure that we are praying for her, all of her administrators, all of her future teachers, all of the students that will be a part of it. We love what Reverend Dawn is doing. We believe this is a God-inspired idea. And because it's a God-inspired idea, we know that God is going to make it successful. So God, our Father, we thank you. Thank you for all of your many blessings. We thank you for Reverend Dawn. We thank you for her vision. We thank you for her gifts. We thank you for everything that you've given her to get to this place, God. That right now, God, that even as she's planning, still in the planning stages, preparing, we know the doors of the school are already open.
Yes.
We know the seats are already filled. We know the chalkboard is already written on. We know the lunches are already prepared. We count it as already done, God. In the name of Jesus, we count it as done. So bless her. Bless all that will work with her, alongside of her, to break generational curses, to create generational wealth, generational legacy, generational favor. We pray for each student that should walk through those halls, each teacher that should teach in the classroom, each administrator that shall be in those offices. We pray in the name of Jesus. And this is what we ask, God. We ask for favor.
Yes.
Like never before.
Yes.
Let stuff happen to Reverend Dawn. Let stuff fall in her lap like she's never seen. She didn't even have to ask for it.
Yes.
It just showed up, God. We believe you can do it. We know you can do it. We trust you can do it, God. So we thank you. Thank you for all you've done, God, for her thus far. God, we thank you for our church being able to partner with this school, God, this academy. Empower us that we can continue to empower her. And God, we thank you. Thank you for your many blessings, joy, peace, miracles that you continually give into our lives. Continue to watch over us and keep us is our prayer. In Jesus' name, every heart said, amen.
Amen.
Hey, y'all, this was awesome. Share this with other people. Would you press share? Share this with other people. They need to see Reverend Dawn, right? And hear what she's talking about. We thank y'all. We love y'all. See y'all later.
Peace out.